So yeah, there's a reason why JT is here and not Nick. It's because JT's not afraid of sharks. Well, I'm not saying you're not afraid of sharks.
I mean, I wouldn't want to come face to face with one, but I'm not afraid to like react.
Okay, Nick. Okay, I'm gonna go back to like this was a long time ago. This is just about 4 or 5 years ago, I think. We did a reaction to it was a Try Not to Laugh meme compilation, and this dude was on the water on like a canoe, and then it flipped over and it went in the water and he got disoriented, and then he brought he had like a GoPro on his head. He turned his head around and he looked, big ass shark like right here. And at that point Nick was like, no, no, no. He got up and he ran away. And then there was another one where we were. I'll show you. I'll show it to you. It's easy to find. Hold on. Renegades heist with Markiplier. Hold on. Renegades heist with Markiplier. Okay. Yep, there it is. So there's a part in this where Nick literally jumped up and just ran out of the scene. It was this. So.
Oh shit. Back in the water.
Oh God, no! Oh no! I'm done with this shit.
That's enough for me. Fuck all that.
And he's gone. He is literally gone.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I know.
I just love how instantaneous his reaction. He's like,
Oh God, no. Well, that's enough of that. Fuck that shit. I'm out.
oh.
And
I'm done with this shit.
That's enough for me. Fuck all that.
I just love how quick he gets up. And Mike is like, what the fuck just happened?
Like the one thing that could have got him happened.
wow, wow, Mark. Damn, you really tapped in right there, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, that was something. That was so. Needless to say, Nick don't like sharks. Nick does not like sharks, and that's why for this video I knew as soon as I saw it. I'm like, yep, Nick's not gonna watch this. Hey JT, you want to watch a video by Casual Geographic about freaking sharks?
Yeah, sure, right now.
All right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so here we go again with Casual Geographic. We're gonna jump on into it and oh, hey, Professor. Gentlemen, behold, Casual Geographic.
Why did that look like the rapper Dax?
I don't know.
Have you never seen Dax?
Dax.
The rapper?
No.
No. Dude, okay, real quick, pull up a picture of Dax.
Okay.
Dude looks just like him from...
Only Dax I know is Dax Harwood from AEW.
Definitely not him.
Oh. You know?
You see what I'm saying, dude?
You know? I mean...
I'm not wrong.
You ain't wrong, but you ain't right. I'm joking.
I ain't left, I ain't right. I'm just straight crooked.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So Casual Geographic. Why the world without sharks might be your biggest nightmare. Here we go.
Remember when I said I'd show a cactus my uvula before I go out into the ocean? Yeah, it was a tough cactus.
Oh, that's Casual. Oh, Jesus. Oh,
I went swimming with sharks to see them in person and instead almost saw Steve Irwin. Shout out to the GOAT. That aside, I'm gonna make you like sharks in this video, but before things get better, first they gotta get worse. So thalassophobic's warning, here's the part where it hurts.
Oh, no. No, you do not want to be there.
Honest
is
question,
death.
has there ever been a horror movie about jellyfish? It's not like Poseidon didn't flush a metric ton of source material. You're looking at, unironically, one of the worst sights in nature. a jellyfish bloom. It's a problem for many reasons. One, it's basically a bath bomb from Shaitan, but also cause it's one of the last signs the ocean gives before it hits the point of no return. When a part of Neptune's neighborhood falls apart and can't support the animals in it, the last step usually involves getting gentrified by jellyfish, since the same conditions that are unlivable for most are usually where Satan's shopping bags thrive. And don't think because you're on land you're safe. Not only have these blooms caused legit power outs, but about half of the oxygen on Earth comes from the same phytoplankton these blooms eat. So why am I talking about jellyfish in a video that was supposed to be about sharks? Well, if you're scared of one, you should probably thank the other. Sharks are the ocean equalizer, keeping other animals in line from their spot at the top of the food web. Near the top. We're getting to that. Sharks eat the big fish that would eat the little fish that would eat the jellyfish polyps. The ocean is a Jenga tower, and sharks are the one block that can bring it all down. Now, it's not as simple as I just made it sound, where no sharks automatically means more ocean acne, but you really don't realize how fast the sea would fold without sharks. That is until you realize what their actual day looks like. Sharks aren't just the equalizer, they're the cleanup crew, mostly going around picking off the dead and dying. You won't see them chasing around small fry that probably aren't even worth it. The same way you probably wouldn't drive 45 minutes for a bag of chips. I hope. It's why, if you want to check your ego, swim in a shiver of sharks and watch how hard you get ignored like J-Lo in the Bronx. I was surrounded by Galapagos sharks, and the closest I got to becoming a hashtag was the ocean slamming me against the bars like I owed it something. It was like an MMA cage match with Mother Nature that got way too personal. I wonder why. But yeah, the sharks could not care less about me. They really do treat you like an NPC. I did learn that because sharks can detect electromagnetic fields, if you stick a GoPro deep enough, you can say you booped a shark. Just know, that was the most action I got all day. And if more people realized how often they get snubbed by sharks even when they're right under us, you'd realize why you're statistically more likely to get flattened by a vending machine, KO'd by a coconut, or even past tense while putting socks on.
You want to know the interesting thing? The sharks do attack people. There's no sugarcoating that. But sharks were done dirty by meat. But for anyone out there who says that media has no effect on like how people see the world, bullshit.
Yeah.
How many people here have seen Jaws? How many people were afraid of sharks because of Jaws? Exactly. Media has such an effect on you whenever you watch something. You gotta be careful of like letting it influence you too much, because you're gonna wind up, you know, thinking that sharks are more dangerous than they actually are. Which there are dangerous sharks.
Yeah.
Bull sharks are dangerous. But once again, by comparison to other things that are out there every day, I'm more likely to die of a heart attack. And being a chunkins, that is a foreseeable problem that I'm gonna probably have to deal with. But I ain't afraid of no sharks.
I'm afraid of no ghosts.
Now, don't get me wrong. If I did see a great white shark, I would in fact re-dye the color of my swimming trunks to brown, like immediately. Like no doubt, dude. Like I would literally just like, as soon as I turn around and I see like a 15-foot great white just right there, I'll just be like, and just fill up my drawers and just like.
So just real quick as a little note. Over the last couple weeks, I'm slowly trying to overcome my fear of thalassophobia.
Really?
Yes. Like, I've never been out on a river or anything up until a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. I was always terrified. Like, just not knowing what's under the water forever freaked me out because of Jaws. And Deep Blue Sea.
That's the other one that everyone always mentions. And it's just like, those sharks in those movies are literally like genetically modified and are just like freaks of nature.
Yeah.
They literally should not exist.
No, and they're horrifying when you're a kid watching that movie.
Yes. Samuel L. Jackson, the pool scene with him, still
rough.
just like, well, no, it's just like, you don't expect it.
No.
You don't. Because you're just like, he's going to like lead these people out of here. Nope. It's just a complete and total subversion. And then not only that, but it's like, well, of course, they killed the black guy. Like, LL Cool J lived.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he light-skinned, but he still lived.
Good on you, Chef.
Yeah. You killed my bird.
God damn. I just love when he gets in the microwave, man.
Yeah.
He's like, this will work.
Oh, no, it was the oven.
Or the oven,
he gets in the oven, and then the glass starts to break, and it turns on the gas. He's like, this is not happening. And he's got that little axe in his hand, and he's just like, he starts like saying a prayer. He's like, Lord, I can't believe you would do this to me. He's like, I know you're trying to call me home, but I got other plans. Oh God, that's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
back to this.
Then get mugged by a shark. It usually takes bad RNG or a surfer adopting the silhouette of a seal. But why are sharks so scary actually? It sounds easy, it's a prehistoric predatory steroid guppy with permateeth, but honestly I think it's deeper than that. Sharks, snakes, and spiders. These are the arguably 3 most feared animals on Earth, and it's likely because we're hardwired to be afraid of them. Snakes are legless, cold-blooded reptiles that even monkeys will throw stones at.
Well, no, they're an arthropod.
Yeah.
The other end, spiders have too many eyes, too many legs, and show up too many times in people's business to ever get good graces. Meanwhile, sharks might just represent—
You fucker. I hate you so much.
I'm so used to spiders now it doesn't affect me.
I'm not, dude. I'm not. It still got me.
the fear of the unknown. The ocean is an endless, uncaring void that could wipe you out in seconds with nothing you could do about it. And projection's a hell of a drug, since that unsettling fear often gets put on the apex predators of—
pretty boy.
Yeah.
He's like, have you guys seen my bear?
No, you know, he's like, oi mate, have you been at the side of the pond before?
Wait, no, why does he remind me of the old Transformer from Revenge of the Fallen?
Oh my god! It's like, oh, of course, I would like to say that, oh god.
Look, this is...
Actually, I know, you know what, fuck it, I'll make the joke. If Freddie Mercury were a shark. I'm so sorry. I love you, Freddie.
Of that void. But that's a problem right there. You hear sharks and instantly think of another Jaws movie. So maybe you should see the sharks that don't make the big screen.
Yeah.
This is a zebra shark. It's a cinnamon roll of a fish that is somehow less of a threat than the trauma donkey it's named after. The zebra shark is the beginning of sharks getting the sea dog allegations, and arguably the most dangerous thing about them is their front face. If nature wanted me to take the threats of sharks seriously, they shouldn't have given them such an unserious—
Trauma donkey.
You know they're gonna be like some crust punk or whatever out in California.
Yeah. Like, hey everyone, we're the Trauma Donkeys. We're out of Fresno. This is our first song, Fist Me Daddy.
serious pair of eyes. It does not matter what the situation is, thrusters will always look like they really need an adult. Now they do kill prey by delivering soul-evicting slaps with that tail, but look at him. He's just a baby. I'm sure there's a lot of cool stuff about the salmon shark, but honestly all I can think of is that they're the baby Looney Tunes G-rated version of great whites. The epaulet is a shark with no regard for the laws of nature, using special fins to literally walk on land. And when sharks wake up with student loans, taxes, and only 2 weeks vacation, it's all gonna get traced back to him. This is a spinner shark, and even though it's hunting, I can't not laugh at how unserious this is. The nervous shark is literally named after how terrified they are of anything human. And whale sharks are unbelievably wholesome for a bust-sized fish with teeth in its eyes.
Shark.
Speaking of whale sharks, you got other plus-size filter feeders like the basking shark. They're about 30 feet long, the second biggest shark, and they're really only a threat to your mental health, especially since a lot of plesiosaur panic can get traced back to a dead.
Yeah, they do that Mongolian throat singing.
It's gonna sound like Godzilla's roar.
Yeah.
Basky. Then there's the megamouth shark, which honestly probably would be scary if you didn't know it's also a giant krill-eating pushover that lives in the forgotten corners of the ocean. Then you got the sharks you forget are sharks. Imagine you're at the shore and someone screams shark. Whole time they're pressed over a tasseled wabagong, a type of carpet shark that takes the name literally by living its life as a homicidal rug. Here you have the smallest shark in the world, the lantern shark. There's a sawfish that... oh, really? Okay, well, apparently it's not actually a shark, it's a ray related to a shark. But don't worry, because this is an actual saw shark, because you know the riddle at this point is conducive to the same traits as convergent evolution. And you can't forget nurse sharks being so unproblematic and curious around people, scientists called it the Labrador of the sea. And I'm glad they did, because now we get to go down the rabbit hole of sharks being dogs and cats at the same time. The poor beagle is a shark named after a porpoise and a beagle. Yeah, I don't get it either, but we'll get back to that. Dogfish were named after fishermen apparently watching them chase smaller prey in packs, like dogs. But some dogfish are also cat sharks, and they got their name from the vertical feline coated eyes. Like the small spotted cat shark is also at the same time called the lesser spotted dogfish. Google says there's over 150 species of cat sharks, including the chain cat shark.
Damn.
Chain dogfish, because of course. Their biggest flex is they can glow green through biofluorescence.
Dude,
and they're not
what?
the only ones. It turns out over 50 species of
bitchin'.
sharks like kitefin and swell sharks can light up. That's about 10% of all sharks,
love
and some
that.
actually use a light to hide. That might sound confusing, but if you're a predator in the crotch of the ocean, all you have to do is look up, and anything that looks like a shadow against the light of the sky is probably your next victim. However, if you can take a cue from a lightsaber, you can blend into the skylight and basically disappear. In fact, counter shading is a concept most sharks borrow from, and it basically means if you're above them, then the darker roof blends into the dark of the abyss, but if you're under them, the light underbelly matches the sunlight hitting the water. And when you think about it, a lot of animals use this strat to avoid problems, but some take it a step further because scalloped hammerheads are scientifically proven to tan themselves if they sit in shallow sun-exposed water. Some say recruiting melanin is nature's way of keeping them from getting eaten by their own kind, by making it easier for the smaller babies to hide. We got a little off track, I want to apologize for it, but the point is, if you're still afraid of sharks, then maybe you should subvert your expectations. Especially since some sharks aren't even full-time predators. The bonnet-head shark is like a hammerhead with performance anxiety. It's also an omnivore that eats seagrass, and in experiments, 60% of its diet included the green stuff. Whale sharks are also partly grass-fueled, and a study from Forbes found that half of what
Jesus, man. Those things are massive.
goes through them are plants like algae and
That thing is
sargassum.
slightly
Okay, so
horrifying
maybe you're still
to
afraid
look
of
at.
sharks. Maybe it
Well,
helped
it's
if
an
you...
abyss. Well, basically, if you just turned around and you saw its mouth, like right here, you'd be like, and I'm now going into the abyss.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Farewell, world.
Yeah.
I'm going to die. And then when it just like, it tries to get in there and you won't fit through its like thing inside of its mouth, you're just like, it spits you back out. You're like, oh, thank God. And then you turn around and there's an orca. It's just like, oh, hi, orca. Just get your ass bit in half by Shamu.
You knew what our
Wow.
shark's afraid of. There's only one thing
Or
that
Willy.
can send the Star of Jaws packing, and you already know it's orcas. Killer whales are known to mutilate great whites
Yeah.
for their livers, and often that's all they take. The sharks have been so beaten down that Monterey-based scientists found that great whites off Farallon Islands will abandon their favorite hunting grounds for up to a year if they run into the assault cetacean once. Researchers have even started playing the sounds of orcas on loop to keep sharks away from beaches. And imagine minding your own business and a hairless iPhone monkey plays your ops anthem.
Orcas are
And I wouldn't call it
vicious,
fear,
dude.
but both dolphins.
Yeah, and you know what? They got a good reputation because of Free Willy.
I know, and that's not right.
No, it ain't.
They're freaking nasty, vile little things. Well, not little, but vile things.
I was going to say, I forget, what was it? He called them Oreo, like assault Oreos.
Yeah, I think that's what.
Dolphins and sea lions have been known to bully great whites by abusing the always superior power of friendship. Okay, now I just feel bad for them. Bull sharks are honestly the closest thing to the stereotype, and they have about the highest testosterone levels of any animal. Yeah, even more than a down bad elephant. And even the bull shark has fears, and its biggest are crocs. They often frequent the same waters, and the rageaholic of sharks gets a severe attitude adjustment just by smelling them. They've also gotten sent packing by hippos, but by far the strangest thing sharks are afraid of. Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
Bubbles.
There is a very real rabbit hole of the most notorious underwater predators getting pressed by some bubbles, with hammerheads and tiger sharks reportedly really uncomfortable with the bubbles from scuba tanks, and scientists even working on making bubble curtains to use as a type of bug spray, but for sharks. Which was funny until I realized dolphins probably just have them that messed up. If you want the definition of irony, it's spending 400 million plus years predator maxing just to get stressed by a SpongeBob scene transition. So play some orca opera and you'll keep sharks away, but the wrong playlist and you might just bring sharks to you. Sharks are attracted to heavy death metal music because apparently
That is awesome.
We need to play underwater.
Just going to say, imagine a shark circle pit just going. Just like. Yeah.
Apparently, the vibrations and beats sound just like struggling or injured fish. Remember, sharks are like the morgue of the sea, and dive operators like Matt Waller will use music as a Batman symbol to attract sharks. Their favorites? According to him, AC/DC, You Shook Me All Night Long, and Back in Black are the best at getting their attention.
Really?
So are certain colors, because for a while, it was widely believed that the single worst color to wear if you're afraid of sharks.
Basic bar hard rock. Okay.
Did he just call that death metal?
I don't know. Hold on. Let's rewind that.
I don't want that.
position. So play some Orca Opera and you'll keep sharks away, but the wrong playlist and you might just bring sharks to you. Sharks are attracted to heavy death metal.
Ah, come on. Yeah, I was going to say, a casual. AC/DC is not. There's some people who consider it metal. They have metal aspects, but they're hard rock.
Dude, I'm so heavy. I'm so heavy. I love Disturbed and I love Five Finger Death Punch, man.
I can give Disturbed a pass. Five Finger Death Punch is unforgivable. Fuck Ivan Moody. Ivan Moody. Oh, he's so moody. He's in a successful band and he makes more money than any of us could ever fucking dream of. But yet he's still a moody bastard.
Mr. Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, my life's so horrible. Like, dude, I get it. Okay, I get it. Look, it's hard being in a band where you literally get to play live shows and go out in front of all those people.
Yeah, it's stressful.
Oh yeah.
Music, because apparently the vibration and according to him, AC/DC, You Shook Me All Night Long, and Back in Black are the best at getting their attention. So are certain colors, because for a while it was widely believed that the single worst color to wear if you're afraid of sharks is yellow. Matter of fact, it was nicknamed Yum Yum Yellow for how wearing it could turn you into a literal snack. The truth is, sharks are likely colorblind with only one color cone in their eye to R3, meaning they see the world in black, white, and shades of gray. Now what they can see is contrast, and anything that stands out against the ocean blue immediately gets their attention. The more you know. Now let me ask you a question. You think sharks get silly? Like you think in 400 million years of being alive, they figured out how to have fun?
I was not ready for that sound effect.
Yeah, that little jump scare. That little just
you think in 400 million years of being alive, they figured out how to have fun? Remember the poor beagle? Scientists peeped that a shark named after a dog would roll around in kelp, toss it around like a football, and even take turns chasing each other. Gray reef sharks sink if they don't swim, so they'll often swim against current updrafts in order to surf and basically take a break from the whole just keep swimming thing. But what's crazy is they have a conveyor belt system where once one shark reaches the end of the line, it'll let the current carry it back to where it started. You could say it's just them saving energy, but is that not the same energy as this? Sharks have been fighting stereotypes like a boxing match for years, and the closest thing to an uppercut they got is the fact that sharks have friends. In 2023, researchers found that two great whites, Simon and Jekyll, had traveled more than 4,000 miles together after being first tagged off the coast of Georgia in 2022, eventually ending up in the Gulf of St. Lawrence just off New Brunswick, Canada. It shows you how little we know about them, because a couple years ago, nobody would believe the final boss of sharks was down for a travel buddy. Shark scientist Jenyns Papastamachiou linked up with researchers from the University of Hawaii, Exeter, and UC Santa Barbara to study reef sharks in the Palmyra Atoll to uncover the secret social circle of sharks. What they found was that these sharks have a literal social circle.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
The same sharks hanging out together in the morning, separating and going about their business during the day, only to meet up again later. These shark groups even use the same part of the reef day after day like a high school lunch table, and these friend groups lasted the entire 4-year study. And it's not just reef sharks. By night, nurse sharks hunt alone, but during the day, they join cuddle parties of up to 40 in order to save energy. It must work, because white tips also power nap as a stack pack. Sand tigers are like sea coyotes, where they're fusion fishing. They have a close network of sharks they associate with, and even sharks they'll meet up with multiple times a year. Scientists now believe that if a shark has their version of a best friend, it's usually someone that's roughly the same size, the same sex, and about the same age, which would explain Simon and Jekyll. But now the real question is, can sharks form bonds with people? And the answer, like everything else, is complicated. Lemon sharks are not only famous for having favorite divers, but for getting jealous and overprotective when they see that diver around others. If a nurse shark is a Labrador, the lemon shark's a golden retriever with gills. Here's my thing now, sharks will form partnerships with other fish like remoras and pilotfish where they'll pick parasites off the shark, so this could just be a lemon guppy treating a person like any other cleaning service. Funny thing about pilotfish, sailors who saw them would swear they and sharks would act like close friends, and there's even stories of pilotfish chasing ships for weeks after they caught one of their sharks, apparently seeming distressed and anxious without him. And you probably wouldn't believe that if something like that didn't happen with a person. In 2001, shark conservationist Jim Abernathy removed a hook from the mouth of a tiger shark named Emma. 20 years and several more hooks later, and Jim and Emma might as well be a married couple, with Emma still recognizing and rushing up to Jim even after up to a year apart. And we're not talking about nurse or lemon sharks, that's a 14-foot garbage disposal with the personality of a lapdog. We don't know.
That is so sweet.
Could you imagine having like that kind of partnership with a freaking shark?
Dude.
Like you would feel untouchable.
I couldn't imagine. Be like, oh yeah, me and my best friend, you know, we climbed up a mountain. It was really fun. It's just like, how about you, man? It's like, my best friend's a shark.
Yeah. And then just looking at you like you crazy, and then you go to the footage, and they're like, you are crazy.
It's just like, that's Emma. She's my friend. That's all there is to say.
20 years now.
I don't know for sure if sharks can feel affection like one, but it honestly wouldn't be a surprise, since sharks are intelligent enough to be trained like dogs. Eugenie Clark was an ichthyologist nicknamed Shark Lady, who taught lemon sharks how to push a target and ring a bell for food, and they even learned how to tell apart different shapes and colors. Some aquariums in the UK train sharks to roll over and respond to signals and commands the same way Pavlov conditioned dogs. And gray bamboo sharks also figured out how to tell apart different shapes, even when researchers tried tripping them up with optical illusions. And even after 50 weeks, they still remembered their training. But really shouldn't be a surprise. Sharks were around back when Saturn was bumping Beyonce and praying on a ring. Sharks are no dummies. You gotta respect that. They might be the biggest flex nature ever made. Sharks can literally track your heartbeat through electroreception. They have a built-in GPS. They have replaceable fluoride-coated teeth that can't get cavities. Some, like the Greenland shark, can live for a legit hundreds of years.
Yeah. Well, they actually made the mistake of saying that there is a Greenland shark who they carbon dated him, that he was in the ocean when Columbus sailed. Turns out that's not true. Still very fucking old, but like, it was like, instead of like over 500 years old, it was like 482 years old, which, that's still ridiculous! 480 plus years old?
You know how tired of this world I would be at 480 some years old.
Especially going through the murky depths, like just in the Arctic Ocean, just being like, there's that one ice cap again.
Didn't I see that last week?
Wait a minute, that ice cap's smaller than that. Huh. Well, this neighborhood really is changing, I'll tell you.
Next time it goes back around a year later, it's like it got a little bit smaller again.
Yeah.
Huh.
And
then what they're doing.
And it's just like, huh. 50 years ago, this place used to be a lot cleaner. It's just like, it's just like, man, all this random stuff floating around. I wonder it wouldn't hurt if I just. Congratulations, by you throwing away that six pack plastic can holder, you have officially killed a 400-plus-year-old Greenland shark. Congratulations.
You can find sharks at the very bottom of the ocean, under an active volcano, and even swimming in River Thames. And
yes.
I honestly don't know what to be more impressed by. Really, the only weakness sharks have is they can be put in a trance-like paralysis just by getting rotated. The tonic immobility is usually triggered by pressing down on the snout, but sharks can induce it in some painfully awkward situations.
Oh, yeah.
Humans usually only put sharks on standby to study and tag them. Meanwhile, orcas do it to steal their organs like a black market merchant. But this time, I'm not going to call them an oppressive Oreo, because we do something way worse. Shark finning is the practice of cutting off the fins and tossing a now mutilated shark back into the sea, where their only option is to slowly drown or bleed to death. Depending on the shark, that can take an excruciating 2 hours. And this is a fate that follows not hundreds, but up to 100 million sharks a year. All for something Gordon Ramsay called made. At the end of the day, we gaslit sharks like no animal has ever seen. We put up every World War combined numbers on them every trip around the sun. Meanwhile, sharks might get 10 on a good year. In fact, you can argue that for all the shark slander, humans have the highest KD ratio against them. No other wild animal gets done this dirty. Moral of the story? You know it's bad when the author of Jaws, Peter Benchley, would go on to regret writing it and dedicate the rest of his life to shark conservation. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, I'm gonna be posting the full GoPro footage of me swimming with sharks. Not too crazy. But other than that, make sure you drink water, hug your mother, R.I.P. Peter Benchley, R.I.P. Eugenie, and yeah, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
Hey. I'm dancing like a shark tonight. Hey. That's cool. That's cool. Alright. So yeah. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is why the world without sharks might be your biggest nightmare.
That was eye-opening.
Oh
it
yeah.
actually was.
Dude. Holy crap. What a freaking crazy ass time that was. Okay. Once again, sharks can be scary.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, there are things that I am much more afraid of than sharks.
Oh yeah.
Nick is like, I think for him, sharks are his number one fear.
I don't know what my number one. I mean, I do have I'm still trying to get over.
I know what mine is, but go ahead.
Probably my fear of water.
Okay.
Like in all transparency, I still can't swim, so I'm working on that because I'm just afraid of the water coming up at me.
Of course.
But I'm getting there. I'm hopefully getting there.
Yeah.
But unknown creatures in the sea was a big one for me for a long while. Like the thalassophobia.
Yeah.
Like it's a real thing, and so I mean I can kind of
yeah.
understand where Nick is coming from with it. But I do wonder if he was to watch this, if it would help him.
Maybe is the key phrase there. So we'll see. I'll tell him about it and tell him that it's definitely worth the watch. You want to know what my biggest fear is?
What's that?
Hold on. That's probably my biggest fear.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, well, what are some fears that you all have? Like some that there's some people. I remember when there were kids that I knew that were afraid of being sucked down the drain. They were afraid of they were gonna get sucked down the drain.
Oof.
Because of they didn't understand they wouldn't fit, so they were always afraid. And then I remembered there was actually a Rugrats episode that was dedicated to that.
Yeah, didn't they get sucked out? Was it the toilet?
No. It was Chucky. I think it was Chucky. He was in the bathtub, and then all of a sudden he saw something swirl around the drain and go down the drain.
That's right. I think it was his little ducky.
Yeah, and he was afraid that was going to happen to him, and then eventually he got up to it and he felt, and he was just like, "Hey, I can't fit. I'm not going to go down the drain." Yeah, but yeah.
He turns into a horror movie and just swallows him.
Yeah. And then I cut back to that scene from Ghostbusters 2 where the bathtub literally comes to life. It's like, "Give me the child."
All that's left is Chucky's glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, this took a dark turn.
Yes, it did. He's with his mother now. I know. That episode still makes me cry.
You're not talking about that one, buddy.
Yes, I am.
I came here to have a good time.
I did too. All right, so we're ending it here because we got a stream to get to.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you all so much for tuning in. And until next time, I am Nate.
I'm JT.
Y'all be good people. Take care. Peace.